Hey everybody, this is Mellzy here. I just want to do a little introduction to this podcast. So, originally I was going to upload this as a bonus step, but what I was thinking was, our podcast is going to be an ever changing thing, so I'm just going to put this on as the second episode, and the third one will still be out this Friday. Thanks for listening. Enjoy. Big Buff, Big Buff, here with lots of film stuff.
Today, this week, we are talking about the recent Justice League trailer, the official trailer, and our thoughts on said trailer. We're going to try to avoid spoilers for Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman and Man of Steel, but we can't guarantee we won't at least talk about the other films. So, everybody, what did we think of Justice League? First impressions. I'm going to start with Julia.
Okay, so that trailer I found was kind of badly edited. It was really choppy, like literally every 3 seconds, cut to black, cut to black, cut to black, just constantly. So that was it was almost disorienting. It was really distracting from the trailer itself, I found. So not a fan of the cutting to black. What did you guys think of that? Did anyone else notice that?
Yeah,
Honestly,
it does seem a bit frenetic in terms of
I think
trailer and
DC seem to be, for me, becoming pretty famous for choppy editing. Suicide Squad, perfect example. Editing that's horrible.
Definitely.
So many sudden cuts. Jeez, because
Yeah.
as you all know, I've edited for Group B Productions, like every video. so I notice that kind of stuff, and it's just so choppy. It's frustrating.
Yeah, it's not great. And bringing up another point, I think that there's this, I don't know, there's like an emptiness to it. I don't know if there's like a lifelessness to the way it looks.
What people say is it's oversaturated. Harry, you're an artist. The tone, the look. Harry?
Gosh, I have to watch it again.
That's right. Just skim through
It's pretty
We think of the colour.
oversaturated, you said.
Yeah, that's what I've read in like comments and stuff.
I don't know. To me, I just found
yeah,
it.
actually. Yeah, it did seem kind of dim, didn't it?
Dude, that's like every DC movie. Like, I think they all just kind of went off Zack Snyder's style, because, he's like, everything's kind of grey and like dramatic, and he's got like really heavy, intense music, and I think after Man of Steel, everything just copied that.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, for some reason, Wonder Woman even has a little bit of it, but it's somehow Wonder Woman I think has a bit more light to it. Like the trailer for Wonder Woman looks a bit brighter.
That's because it uses more of like rather than just a dark tone, they use kind of tones used in like war movies, I think, is what I noticed.
Yeah. But not just, it's not for me the grey stuff in the war stuff, but the stuff that's on Themyscira.
Oh, well, yeah, that's obviously going to be really bright because it's like, Paradise Island.
Tropical Island, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But my thoughts here were that everything just looked bland, and it kind of felt like, it just felt empty. Like, I don't know if it was just because, being comic book fans, we expect to see Green Lantern.
Yeah.
We expect to
I
see
did want to comment
Superman.
Shazam.
Oh,
I know
said Superman.
No, Shazam though. We know Shazam. I know he's coming later, but just the fact that it's a Justice League movie, we don't have Green Lantern, we don't have Shazam, and they're two main heroes in Justice League now.
Yeah, I know. And, well, the bigger question, of course, is, will we know why Superman's not in this trailer? For those listening who have seen Batman v Superman, we know why he's not in it.
Everyone knows Superman's coming back. I mean, everyone knows that.
Yeah.
At this point,
But it's just kind of like, I'm not coming across as like, I just feel like, it's meant, like, you see the trailer and you're like, you could have at least alluded to him in the film.
Angry Joe said the same thing, but I have to disagree because it's just spoilers. Why do you need to show his reveal or that he's going to be in it? Isn't it better if it's just sudden and unexpected? For me, I prefer that experience.
The issue, of course, with that is the fact that if you have seen Batman v Superman, then you know that at the end of it, he's still alive. He's still gonna come back. He's gonna come back. To me, it's kind of like, if you didn't know he was going to come back, then sure, I would not want to see him in the trailer. But the sheer fact that we obviously know he's going to be in this movie is like, well, why didn't we at least see least the notion
like
of
a
him?
hint of it, yeah.
Let's stop right there because we know for a fact they're going to show him in the second trailer. They showed Doomsday in the second trailer for Batman vs Superman. They're going to show Superman in the second or third trailer. Guaranteed they're going to show Superman in the next one.
There'll be a little bit of hypocrisy, I feel like, if they don't, because I feel like if they don't end up showing him, and they learn from the mistake they made with Doomsday, then people will still complain because now they're like, well, where the hell's Superman?
People were angry that they showed Doomsday, that they spoiled Doomsday. So
I am. To tell you the truth, if they never showed Doomsday, then I'm pretty sure the movie would have actually been at least a little bit better.
no, let's not. Let's not jump.
Okay,
Let's not jump the gun on that one.
But at least we would have not been spoiled that huge,
Oh,
plot point.
oh! Now I'm surprised that they ruined Doomsday. Even better.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, something I want to mention straight away. The outfits, the costumes, awful. Cyborg looks disgusting. I hate Cyborg's look.
Yeah, he's got this kind of Transformers
skinny, really skinny kind of weird thing.
It's not necessarily the skinny. It's, to me, he's got this Transformers. I'm gonna have all these, he's got that sort of. He just looks over robotic.
Too many details.
Over...
Yeah, too many what do you call it? Fuck, to me I don't know what you call it.
I don't know what you call
complex.
it. It's just,
too many bits sticking out. Too too many curves and edges. Like it's just so much there. And also the fact that his arms are so skinny, and everyone knows Cyborg for being kind of like a buff character. It's really weird to look at.
Yeah, it's definitely unusual. It's definitely something that that I don't like either. Another topic that's quite interesting is Aquaman, and for me, I like the idea. I like where they're going, but I don't like the idea that they're just kind of forcing it down our throats. Like, oh, he's a badass now. So, yeah, it's kind of like...
I would prefer if they did more of the traditional Aquaman. I think it would be more fun for the movies because they need more comedy in there, and they just don't have it.
Yeah, and I feel like this decision to make Aquaman a badass in some kind of way is simply just them being scared that they can't portray the character. Yeah, which is ridiculous because I'm not, dissing Jason Momoa as an actor or anything. I mean, he's definitely got the physique to play Aquaman, but my point's more just, I think they have less faith in the character than probably could, and that's to me the reason why I wish I could see Green Lantern in the trailer, or you could at least get an idea that we're going to get other Justice League members, because at the moment it just feels like, I feel like the great stuff in the trailer for me was actually seeing the Flash. His powers, I think, were really cool. I thought that looked really cool.
I liked about Flash while we're there. I do like the actor. And I like the way the powers look. The powers are really cool. But once again, the costume. What the heck is going on there?
Yeah, it does look a little bit
so
like the Power
weird.
Rangers costume.
I don't like it at all.
If it was more like the Injustice
any other version of Flash,
or any other Flash costume,
literally any other version of Flash I've seen, I would prefer over that outfit. But apart from that, I do like that. My favorite line was the so what are your powers? I'm rich.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Rich,
That's definitely the only funny part in the whole trailer.
And obviously, Batman still looks awesome, cool, I guess.
Yeah, but he still does look a bit weird though, doesn't he? It's a different style, but I'm fine with Batman. Yeah. I'm fine with Batman and Superman's look. Cyborg I hate. Flash's I keep questioning. Aquaman is a bit just kind of plain. There's nothing going on there. Wonder Woman's is probably the closest to the comic book, and I really like Wonder Woman's one. And
Wonder Woman looks great.
They've taken the the tacky outfit and they've made it like armor, like the skirt's like armor, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, definitely. It's got that kind of, obviously being an Amazonian, she's almost got like that Xena sort of look to her, which I think is what you definitely need. But again, I don't know, it just feels, because there are characters you're not seeing, it just feels like there's something missing about the movie. It's like, maybe it's because we're just so used to Avengers and Marvel and just, not just colors, and we're used to seeing so many characters, but, in a movie that we're like, yes, we're getting all that fan service, and it's almost like now we're in DC and we're having to start from the ground up, almost like we're back at the Avengers trailer when the first Avengers came out.
But the only difference is they've really rushed into it, and it's nowhere near the quality that Marvel is. And every DC movie I've seen so far is barely above average at best. At best above average, in my opinion.
I would definitely put Suicide Squad below average.
Yeah, okay.
After.
First time I watched Suicide Squad, I'm like, yeah, that was a pretty good movie. I went to rewatch it. I couldn't get through the first half. I'm like, this is actually a terrible movie. And the more I think about it, the more I don't like it, and I don't think I'll ever be able to watch it again.
I had the same issue with Batman v Superman. Like, I sat through that movie when we first saw it, and I thought, you know what, this is actually not too bad. But then I sat through the 3-hour extended cut, which I know they added a lot of footage to try and flesh things out, but the same issues remain. Like, they haven't gotten rid of the same issues. It's just they've made the movie 3 hours long.
I was about to say, they're just making a bad movie longer.
And it literally,
more exposition.
What you end up watching is 2.5 hours of just nothingness to get to half an hour of action, which frankly just ends, and you're just left going, well, that was a waste of 3 hours. Like it just feels like, to me, it's just one of those movies where once you've rewatched it, you don't appreciate it. Now, that's really unusual, because when I first saw Man of Steel, I was kind of disappointed with it, and I didn't find it that unique. I found it very mundane, very average, very mediocre. Surprising to say that Man of Steel is actually better than Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman, I think.
Man of Steel is the strongest DC movie so far.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I don't like it because it's too many changes to the Superman character for me. That's what I didn't like.
Exactly. I feel like it doesn't have the lighthearted. It doesn't have that John Williams Superman theme. It doesn't have that
truth, justice, and the American way.
Well, it's funny because we look at Marvel and we look at essentially their version of Superman, not necessarily in powers. We look at Captain America and we think about, they've pulled off Captain America.
So well.
We root for Captain America. We know that he might be this American icon character, but he's pulled off in such a way that he just feels human.
And his movies are some of the best in the Marvel franchise.
Yeah, exactly. But the issue that you then have with Superman is the fact that it's not, I don't know if it's necessarily the character, but it's the movie he's in, and it's the way that they've made these movies. At least Man of Steel ended up being obviously the same thing you get in every DC movie, which it seems like now, which is spectacle over quality or characterization. And instead, there are a lot of great, I think, philosophical things and themes in Man of Steel, but they get so swept under the rug by all this over-the-top grey action that just makes the movie seem so average and so run-of-the-mill CGI fest. Now, having rewatched it, you can sit there and appreciate those scenes where you delve into the person that is Superman, but then, again, the same problem remains, that it's just too grey. And I think with Justice League, you're running into the same problem, or there's the threat of the same problem, which is just too much grey, and you need to
see. The problem with it, you know what the problem is? Yeah, they've set the tone. They have to stick with it now. They can't really change it because it's just going to be weird. Like, I think people will like if they change it, but then you're gonna have to. I don't know. It's. I think it. Maybe that's the thing. Like, he's chosen the tone and he's sticking to it. I think that's the point. Although
they have to change it, in my opinion. They have to. You're not going to keep people...
we all want them to, but I just don't think they will. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm literally saying I think they have to, because I feel like, to me, the DC movies are becoming almost like, you know, they seem to be turning into your Transformers movies, or your getting into the Pirates of the Caribbean territory, where you're literally getting these movies now that sequel after sequel. They're just losing.
You say that, but you know, Transformers does so well in box office, and they're getting away with it, which is which is appalling, but they are.
Yeah, and I feel like that's probably happening with DC as well. DC obviously
like
better than the
Transformers. Superheroes sell.
Yeah,
but look, let's be honest. Yeah, DC movies are definitely better than the Transformers movies.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get me started on
the
scars.
Anything after the first two Transformers movies, yes.
Well, sure. Transformers 2 is pretty shit anyway.
We don't speak about Transformers 2.
Let's be honest. Let's look at all Transformers movies without the guise of a little school kid, and let's just actually look at all of them. They're not really that good.
I was pretty young the last time I watched them, so I'm probably just, you know...
Yeah, exactly. My point is that as a guilty pleasure, the first movie, I think, is probably passable, but I feel like the others just kind of fall into this same category of what the hell is going on? Do I need a gratuitous shot of Megan Fox? No, I do not. Let's just move along. And I feel like obviously that's not the case with Justice League. Most definitely back on topic of Justice League.
Yeah.
I think it's just the fact that what we have here is another movie that could be great, could be not so great. I think there's probably the chance that it probably won't be that great. But hey, we could be surprised.
It's very
And
early
I'd
to
love
say, I think, and I think we should come back for the second trailer, and then of course once I've watched the movie, we'll come back.
Definitely.
I just want to say, Harry, you've been very quiet. Do you have anything else you want to add? Any opinions on the trailer?
Yeah, you guys want to talk about the song there? I mean, so we all know the song, right?
Yeah.
Come Together.
Yeah.
What do you think about that cover?
I actually didn't mind it that much.
Yeah, I thought it was alright.
I loved it. I'm like, hey, I can dig this modern rock. It's great.
Yeah,
I was
and
actually-
then they just
I
don't
was
give you a
actually
name. It's like,
researching
oh.
I was researching it while you guys were talking. It is just like
Okay.
Yeah, I heard you type it in the background.
Yeah, you heard that?
No, I
Yeah,
thought it was a good
I was
cover. I
researching.
think it fitted the song.
Yeah,
It's a bit of song trailer. Yeah.
I mean, like the music was good, but at the same time, kind of a weird choice once again. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but I
That's
think
what I
they
was
play on
thinking,
the
I'm
whole,
listening
haha,
to
look,
it,
we're
like-
coming together, we got a team, come together, do you get it? Like,
Yeah.
really bad.
Well, if you look at the original,
Right.
if you look at the original official trailer for the Avengers, they used a Nine Inch Nails song. I do not know the name of the song, but I believe it was something like "We're All in This Together Now" or
Oh,
something
yeah,
like
okay,
that.
fair enough.
Another kind of
Yeah.
team sort of song, and I feel like again,
You could be lame.
I'm going to give my opinion right now. For superhero movies specifically, stick to instrumental for trailers.
Yes, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Someone has said
Definitely.
that.
Stick to instrumental. It sets the tone. You can do what you want, whatever tone you want. You don't need to use popular pop songs or rock songs, and especially covers of them. Just do instrumental.
Suicide song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good point.
It never goes too well. Suicide Squad was pretty good with Queen and Ballroom Blitz. Obviously, like that was actually pretty good, but
and
not
you can look at
Yeah, but
Guardians of the
it was
Galaxy.
a rule. Don't do it.
yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy is a bit different because that
Okay.
because that is the tone of the movie, so it
Yeah,
makes
that's-
sense. And they
That's fair enough.
and they use the songs well in the movie. Suicide Squad uses their
they use the
music
original.
terribly in the movies.
And I'd like to point out that music is actually part of Star-Lord's character.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
While
So
there
it
is no
fits.
character in Suicide Squad that actually has some kind of physical.
No, they
you
just
know,
grab the songs and poorly edit them in at
Yeah,
times where they just don't belong. And they didn't even use the Panic at the Disco cover, so whatever.
Yeah, that's-
Which is a great cover, so use it. I don't understand. I don't know.
And they never finished a song. They just played like half of
Mhm.
every song and then cut to the next one.
Yeah.
Kind of annoying.
So-
Yeah, terrible.
So to finish up, should we do any kind of trailer review, like a score
I don't-
perhaps for the
I-
trailer?
I don't know. Should we score the trailer? Alright, let's score the trailer. Josh, you go first. You're the movie buff. How many nuts?
I'd probably give it a 5.
5 nuts
sitting
out
on
of
the
10. Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting on the fence.
Okay. So you don't know what to expect. You're willing to
Yeah.
watch the next trailer. Alright.
Yeah.
Julia?
Yeah, I would say like 4.5, 5 nuts as well.
Yep.
Not a fan.
Okay. Harry, Music Man?
You think 6 is a bit too generous? I'm
So-
gonna say
You can go
6.
6. You could go 6. I was thinking 5 or 6. I just leaned more towards 5. So yeah.
Alright, well, I'm
Harsh.
actually gonna get pretty harsh because I'm gonna base it off the DC movies I've watched so far and what I've come to expect. I'm gonna give it 4 nuts out of 10.
Savage.
But let's be honest here. That's not too harsh.
That's a
That's
trailer.
not
it's
too
not. That's,
bad.
that's
Let's-
just
let's-
average, really.
Yeah, let's go
saying
with
it's average.
if we assume that 5 is average, then 4 is like
Slightly below average.
slightly is
Which is
below.
kind of
Yeah,
what it
it's
is.
just below average.
Yeah,
basically.
that's what
But
I'm
it's
saying.
not to the point where it's like god awful or anything.
No, I'm
like
saying
that.
I'm saying slightly below average. I'm willing. Like I'm probably gonna go see the movie. Okay, because
I
superheroes.
mean, look, we're all gonna go see it. Let's be honest.
I'm
Yeah, I know I am.
It's like this stuff
Yeah.
that kind of forces you to be invested. Not Transformers, obviously. I got sick of that. But I do have that thing with the superheroes where I'm like, all right, new superhero movie. I'll go check it out, see what's like. So,
Even if you know it's gonna be shit.
well, we don't know, so that's the
I
problem.
mean, some of the ones that have come out recently, we kind of had a hunch, like a good
All right.
idea that wasn't gonna be great.
Yeah.
Not naming any names here, but
Alright, so that was Injustice trailer reaction. Join us next time for Trailer 2. Video game. Video game.
Alright, so Mass Effect Andromeda will launch in 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 15 seconds for Australia.
very
Alright.
specific.
Now people
Yeah,
know
yeah.
exactly, they can calculate exactly what time we were recording this.
That's pretty good.
Spooky.
For the hardcore nuts out there. That's what we call our fans, the nuts. Alright, so you've played the beta? Was it the beta?
Oh, although there was supposed to be a beta, but they gave us a 10-hour early access.
They
Yeah.
gave you the alpha. Oh.
Um, but look, the game seems good, like in terms of like combat and all that, but the animations, I gotta say this, like the animations,
Yeah.
they are,
We've all
they're-
heard
they're
about
not-
this. We've all seen it. It's current
yeah,
news.
they're not the best. I mean, like the walking animations, like some of the characters' legs just aren't supposed to be like that. Like legs shouldn't walk like that.
They walk and look like they've shit themselves. Every character has recently shit their pants.
It's so
They,
bad.
they don't want to be having conversations. They don't want to be walking
Yeah,
anywhere,
their
but they
faces
have
are
no
just
choice.
saying, "Get me out of here! I can't do this."
Get me out of here! I've shit my pants.
Yeah.
And also at the start of the game, or when I started playing it, like everyone's thrown up in the air and all gravity goes off and someone turns it back on. But when you fall down, your Dr. Lexi, she her face like animation just goes normal. Then by the end of the conversation, it just drops. Like she's all confused. Like wait, what? What was I talking about?
Weird. Yeah. My favorite's the backwards gun. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I can't believe that
Of
actually made it into
yeah.
a game.
PP holding the gun backwards and yet the
shoots-
gun's firing.
She shoots the flying metallic squid with a backwards gun. Shoots the bullet out the butt end of the gun. Like a total
Fuck,
badass.
I just watched that GIF on repeat.
Yeah, it's
Bloody hell,
weird.
How
Like
bad is it? How do you fuck up that bad?
Yeah,
Well-
and how does that get past like so many
Right.
levels of development?
It's a AAA game.
well, here's the reason. Like
True.
in mid development, they had a lot of people leave. Like they had their main writer leave. They had a lot of the animators and game designers leave because what had happened was apparently EA had cut their pay.
Classic EA, right?
Classic EA.
So
on 'em.
yeah, of course a lot like those main guys that have been there like working on Mass Effect for so long are like no more of this. Nah, that's it.
Crazy.
So yeah, they've like I reckon they've rushed it a bit, but combat is like really good. Like it's insanely smooth.
I mean,
Like
all the Mass Effect games are more famous for their gameplay and storylines. Well, I mean, not the third one
Well-
until the DLC was released.
Hey, yeah.
But and the animations have been like pretty bad on all the games. But
well,
that's not really an excuse.
Hmm.
I don't think. I think they should be trying to improve, not making it equally as bad / worse.
yeah, like
They're exceptionally bad this time around.
well, what I had played of the game was like in terms of story seemed interesting, but there wasn't enough to like really get me. Because I got to a certain point of the game where it's like, oh, you've made it this far, now buy the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so just as you
And
get,
I was like,
EA.
yeah,
oh,
because it's just as you get into it, and then they make you pay full
Yeah,
price, and it's
yeah,
probably
'cause,
not that great from then onwards. The first 10 hours is probably the most exciting part. I mean, I don't know, the game's not out yet; it's an hour away, but I guess we'll get you.
but
We'll get you back on once the game's released. Maybe you've played like 40 hours and finished the story, and you can
Yeah.
give us a full review.
well,
That'd be good.
look, multiplayer, like you see the improvements in multiplayer from Mass Effect 3, like in
Mm.
terms of like actual combat and the enemies you fight, because enemies feel like more aggressive. Like they will actually push on you. Like they
So,
will flank you. They'll
better AI.
yeah, like oh dude, they will rush you. Like when you get to the later rounds where like they get the tougher enemies and that, they
Yeah.
will absolutely rush you. Like if you're not careful and you go into a small room, they will rush that room and like murder you.
Yeah, some of the scariest AI like I've encountered is probably like in Uncharted when you're playing like the high difficulties and they just flank you. It's really terrifying. I hate that.
Uh, don't worry.
And I guess actually more Last of Us actually. That'd be scary AI.
Yeah, because the
Yeah.
clickers especially, like
Oh
clickers.
no, I'm talking about like the humans, the way they like
Oh,
gang up on you and flank you.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the worst. That always fucked me over
Yeah.
on those high difficulties.
Yeah, it's scary. Anyway, so
But no.
this is Mass Effect chat. Carry on, Hayden.
But yeah, like the tougher enemies you fight in the game, like there was one I fought was called the Fiend, which is like a giant creature, and like I wasn't paying attention. Like I was more focused on enemies like that were rushing me, and I turned around because I heard this giant thud on the roof I was on, and it was the Fiend that had jumped up on there with me, and immediately I'm just jetpacking everywhere to get away from this thing.
That's pretty cool. Sounds intense.
Yeah.
Scary, actually. You know
Yeah.
what? As crappy as Andromeda might be, I don't think it's going to be any more hated than Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
No,
On release, people like it. The full edition, I think.
Well, look,
Oh, yeah.
in terms of like what's going to happen in the game, like you're actually building your own bases, like you're actually establishing homes, like you're going to planets to see if you
Okay.
can live on them.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it
It's
good.
different.
Like
Hmm.
instead of like going like, oh, we
It's
have to
more
fight this alien race and go to
Exploring,
war.
yeah.
Like this one, your job is to actually explore, because you're a pathfinder, they call you.
Right.
Okay.
Harry, you're a game artist.
Yep, that's me.
So what do you think about the facial animations? Like, how do you think that happens?
Oh, people who can't model for shit. Honestly, it's quite
It's bad.
appalling. Like,
What do you think?
Like,
Went wrong for it to be like that?
I think they just got people who don't understand anatomy. Like, you look at a face, you look at that.
Proportions
that-
are a little odd.
That's like the eyes. The eyes really stand out to me. How do you fuck up the eyes that bad? Like, there's no shape around the eyes. It looks like they
Yeah.
literally just like sculpted a hole in and plopped in an eyeball. They're like, yeah, done.
It's just like they
Looks good to
copy pasted
me.
them, yeah. Really
Uh,
ugly.
There was someone that was like
Yeah.
cross-eyed.
I was about
He's
to
like,
make the
"Looks
exact same
good."
joke. I was about to make the exact same joke. Seems right to me.
He's got his thumbs up, and
Yeah.
they're just like, how do we hire him? He's like, I don't know. he just
God,
came in
God.
here, sat down, and said he worked here.
I'm surrounded by assholes for people who have seen Spaceballs. You get the
Oh, yeah.
reference.
Well, that reminds me. I had a teacher who used to work for like a paint company, and he was like inventing paint colors. You know, you go to Bunnings and it's like purple, whatever, and yellow this, and like
Yeah.
the fake colors. Apparently, he worked there for like 8 years, and he was colorblind the entire time, and no one knew.
What? How do you? Is
So
it
yeah, he
because
spent
it
8
uses
years inventing
numbers?
colors, and he couldn't even tell the difference.
Is it because
And no one ever caught him.
Is it because the numbers associated with colors? Is that how he did it, or what?
I have no idea. He didn't really say, but he just said it was really funny that he's red-green colorblind, and he never got caught. And yeah, they said he was like one of the best workers they ever had. And they never asked, so he never told them.
Well, maybe he made colors that he thought looked good, and maybe they actually looked good to people who weren't colorblind. Just
Yeah,
by
that's the only thing I could think of.
just by chance, right? It's like because
How lucky is that, though?
yeah, I mean,
Well,
well, I don't know
I-
because maybe like the mixing of colors works the same even when you're colorblind. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
Would do.
it might still look good. I don't know if that makes sense.
But I mean,
don't
if your
know.
boss tells you to design something green and it comes out like orangey, then that's obviously going to be.
Well, he must know.
Iffy.
He must know which colors he's seen instead of what they actually are, and therefore
Yeah,
he
probably.
probably just works around it. I mean,
he-
you'd have
he
to
just-
be
Mystery.
you'd have to be pretty clever and creative, though. I
Yeah,
think.
well, he's a scientist, so
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Well, no,
That's
still, that's
interesting.
pretty amazing.
I can imagine like they ask him, it's like, so what color is that? He's like, you tell me. You tell me what color it is.
It's like it's what's it called? And they go purple. Yeah, purple. That's it.
I would just be sarcastic, like, you're really going to ask me that? And then be like, yeah, okay. just forget
It's
about it.
like
Well,
yeah.
No,
Oh,
someone
okay.
questions. It's like, oh, we needed orange. You gave us like yellow. It's like, are you sure it's yellow? Like, you might be colorblind. Like, he tries to confuse them.
I was just testing you.
Well, or maybe it's like, look, some people see yellow, some people see orange.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean
Oh,
anyone's.
no.
It doesn't mean anyone's wrong. We just we just have different opinions on what colors are. Because I mean that's true, right? So you can probably play that card if it's close enough. That is.
Yeah, true.
Oh jeez. Anyways, back to Mass Effect. Start talking
Yeah,
about.
because there is
paint.
one more thing I want to talk about Mass Effect
Yeah, go
is
ahead, dude.
what is it? My favorite character that you're gonna get as a crewmate named Drac, which is like I think he's like the oldest Krogan we've encountered. Like in the game, he's like 1500 years old.
Okay.
That's
And,
such a classic name for a Krogan. I love it.
And yeah, I love one of the dialogue options, or one of the things they say is I don't need an army, I have a Krogan.
That's some
It's
good
like
stuff.
one single Krogan.
That's what we need.
But
I don't know what a Krogan is, and look how lie.
Go Google it right now. It's one of the aliens. That's all you
Yeah,
need to
Google.
know.
Alright,
Just Google Mass Effect Andromeda Drac. Just that's it.
Oh, I typed in
That's-
Krogan already there.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It came up with a ship.
Wait, what?
Wait, how do you spell Krogan?
Yeah, is it? Is it
Krogan.
Ian, yeah. Put it with Ian, and it's the name of a boat.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
yeah, these guys. Yeah, I know these guys. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I thought you
Yeah,
would have
the-
known them.
Yeah, they're like big lizard guys. Like,
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll get you back on once you've played the game for a bit for a final
yeah.
review. How many nuts you give it? Until.
Oh, wait.
What? Oh, something else.
Can I just say one more thing?
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
one more thing.
Sure.
I saw one of the romance like options. Like you try and flirt with your science officer on on your ship,
Yeah.
and she's up at the front of the ship next to your pilot. And so when you flirt with her, your pilot, your actual pilot, he's like, "Kill me now." When you try and flirt with her.
Wow.
Wow. Harsh.
goes into the
Savage.
goes into the airlock, ejects himself.
But yeah,
Roll
like
a d20 to flirt.
when I saw that, I was like, "Holy shit!" Well, that's actually funny as well. Just out of nowhere, your pilot's like, "Kill me."
Yeah, that's a bit weird. That's what people like. People love these wacky choices and wacky responses in Mass Effect games.
Well, Even the person you try and flirt with, she even tells you, "Oh, you're not my type."
Oh wow. Shut down.
Yeah, you really
She,
gotta-
like shuts you down.
You really gotta work up. You know, you gotta ease into it.
But yeah, that's basically all.
That's
Until
how
game's
long,
released.
How long now until it's released?
1 hour and 3 minutes.
Oh, okay. It's still over now. Well, there you go. Look forward to the full review here on In a Nut Pod.